stories, those things my mother said. She told me fairy tales before I went to bed. She spoke of a happy ending, then tucked me in real sight. She turned my night light on and kissed my face goodnight. My mind was filled with visions of perfect paradise. She told me everything. She said he'd be so nice. He'd ride up on his horse and take me away one night. I'd be so happy with him. We'd ride down the side. She never said that we would cry and scream and lie. She never said that maybe someday he'd say goodbye. The story ends. The story's true. Reality steps into me. No longer live a lie, paradise, a fairy tale. Oh, Hello, my love. I heard a kiss from you. Red magic satin planet too. All through the morning rain again, the sun doesn't shine. Rainbows and waterfalls run through my mind. In the garden, I see what's purple shower bells. One bird and river cousins distant breeze. Pretty music, I hear so happy and loud. Blue flowers echo from a cherry cloud. Feel sunshine sparkle, pink and blue. The playgrounds will laugh if you try to ask. Is it cool? Is it cool? If you arrive and don't see me, I'm gonna be with my baby. I'm free. Fly down over the sea. Spain window, yellow candy screens. See speakers of kinds. With velvet roses, making freedom fly. A president from this strawberry elected 22. The music plays are setting for you. The president's from you. Strawberry elected 22. The music plays are setting for you.
Woo! Hopefully you enjoyed the music selection today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. To those who are new, remember, I am also the goddamn law, trademark, by the way, the suntan Superman. Remember, today's going to be a good damn show. Man, I'm going to tell you. You repost something on Facebook and just watch how everything unfolds. There was one brother named Dorian MC on Facebook. He kind of put out a post where you had Taraji P. Henson and Mary J. Blige together on a yacht, dancing and doing everything else. But they're both 51. He says, and I state in his post, let me get it right. Mary J. Blige and Taraji P. Henson both 51. These leftover women are thotting around and seeking attention from any man that's successful and hope to be a wife to a very high earning man. It's kind of funny when you look at this post. What makes it hilarious is that every woman and every simp, I even had a transgender person tell me, why does a woman need a man? Think about it. Being wealthy and successful makes you a target. And I'm just posting it on there, just seeing what was the reactions, and all these unwarranted, uncalled for statements were made. Of course, you got your ever so classic "Who hurt you?" They look good, and trust me, I'm looking at them in the. Oh, shout out to Volcanus. This post is beta as hell. Men always want to hold marriage over women. Meanwhile, they single as can be, and not one single woman in the photo is unhappy. And y'all can really have a great life and be single, says the single chicks that nobody wants to. Okay, here's another one. It's really wild to try to find anything, and I do mean anything, to pick people apart. Both these women have endured painful relationships and are still showing resilience. They have chosen to define happiness their own way, and I bet they give absolutely no fucks how people will probably never encounter feel about their vacation habits abroad. Oh my god, this is too funny. Too funny. Why do we always, you never hear black women ever just tell it like, yo, that chick lost it. No, y'all say that when it's off social media because you lying. But it gets even funnier when you have a transgender quote unquote man, as I like to call it, dickless in Seattle, is gonna tell me, why does a woman need a man? I even had to tell one chick in a comment. I said, if they release the artificial womb, wouldn't that make women obsolete? What the fuck we need you? We could skeet up in a machine, skeet in the cup, put it in a machine, just like you do your goddamn, your coffee. You just set it down, at the gestation. Bing, baby. I said, so y'all better not hope that anytime soon that artificial womb comes up, because y'all fuck. Oh my goodness. How are they thoughting because they're wearing bikinis and having fun on vacation? Most people do that. The narration from this black man is very tiring, narcissistic, and at times obsessive. Why do you care so much what black women do, especially if you find us unqualified or not desirable or not good wife material? Y'all black men are so obsessive of black women. No, we're not. Y'all can't stand and seem to talk about black women. I wish he actually spelled about, like, how about is actually spelled. It's incredible, yet the same time very weird. Y'all stalkers of black women. Wow, strange. You can't critique a black woman without being a stalker now. What the fuck? Y'all want to control everything. Shaking my head. No different from whites. But you probably work for white people, so you're not above sucking a white man's dick to get a promotion, and probably have. Why do you men want to hold marriage over a woman like it's some goal? Mary J was married, and Taraji P has a son and was in a relationship with his father until tragic death, and was engaged. Please, please. Taraji P has been around how many guys in Hollywood? And she's 51 and never been married. That bitch will never be married. Not if she tried. If you couldn't be married on your prettiest, you sure ain't gonna be married at damn near grandma age. They look happy and they look good as fuck to me. Why do y'all always say people look good as fuck and they look like half a bag of fucking last week's trash? Like, why do y'all do this? Y'all sound miserable as hell listening to Kevin Samuels. Oh boy, there you go. Kevin Samuels. He's the culprit. Seriously, look where his advice got him. Yeah, he came out coming and going. The way you should as a man. Seriously, like literally, y'all sound like some haters. Y'all can't leave a couple of sisters alone to bask in their happiness, which you're not. A woman, y'all think everything's about a woman is marriage and having kids and sound like men who made that status is leftover men himself is a simp and a beta. Hold on for a second, folks. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. It's funny. It's funny because when you're 51 and you make a lot of money and you don't have a man, that kind of tells secrets about you. You know what I'm saying? That's like a nigga who's 51 and never held down a job. You're a loser. They keep talking about how rich Mary J. Blige is, but she's paying alimony to her ex-husband. And then, see, how many years have men throughout decades paid alimony and shut the fuck up about it and just paid it? She whined about the alimony. Oh, I gotta do concerts because I can't make it. Oh Lord, I'm Mary J. Blige. Give me some new blues to cry. Well, why didn't you stay married to him? But here's the crazy part, right? You never, hardly ever see high tier women get high tier men. And this is why, too many of us co signed the fuckery. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a woo in the chat. Hopefully, everything's being said, everything being heard. But here's the crazy part, I'm listening to all these ladies make up all these excuses. But flip it, you gotta. And I actually posted another one just to get them to bite, because an upset bitch can't stop. She's like piranhas. You take a first nibble, they. It was another post about, from Durian MC again, that talked about Mark Anthony, who's 53, engaged to his 23-year-old girlfriend, who's a former Miss Universe. You really think that he got the support that Mary J. and Taraji P, being in these skimpy fucking outfits, starting it up, dancing with white boys? No. Of course, you had this one chick. Sorry, if you can't date someone in your own age group, then you are the problem. Um, Shaking my fucking head like you old men want to be running after babies and selling your soul to keep a young chick. Who going to rob you? Um, when don't younger women chase older men? How many times you went to high school and you saw these guys driving and shit dropping off these 16, 17-year-old girls? And you couldn't get that girl because, nigga, the only thing you driving is some Nike Airs. And you say that again?
She was one of the baddest shorties in the school.
Of course. You think a 27-year-old nigga don't know? But a lot of these. Oh my goodness. But oh my goodness. But you know what? Men shut the fuck up about it. But we're supposed to condone the 53-year-old man, but we're going to salute the 53-year-old past their prime old biddies who need to be grandma knitting on a goddamn back porch somewhere. I can't keep a man no damn well. Whatever fucking song she sings. Well, these queens are beautiful. But here's the problem. It's always a one-way street when it comes to co-signing the stupidity. I really wish I could have titled this co-signing the fuckery. But yet, we see how phony people get when we have to realize young chicks always chased older men. Have you ever noticed Mark Anthony has money too? But Mark Anthony ain't gonna be trying to get no Taraji P or no fucking Mary J. Blige. And trust me, Mary J. was not the cutest thing all the time either. She just had a great voice. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, Namer. It's funny. They always talk about men not taking care of their kids, but guess who's the number one defaulters of child support? Women. They don't tell you the shit how many women get ordered to pay child support and they don't pay. You think anybody putting? They don't even put warrants on these bitches. Oh well, I'm struggling out here, bitch. You don't even got the kids. But let that be a dude, man. You miss half a pound. You think about missing a child support payment, they taking your license. You really think that they're gonna give the same respect to a 53-year-old man that they're gonna give to a bunch of washed up chicks? Like, I'm sorry. A lot of these dudes who come up in this post and was talking about, oh, Mary can still get it. I'm like, at some point, you gotta be like, ew, yo, that shit don't look right. You see this shit? It don't look right, do it? It's like somebody auntie trying to get your best friend. But look at this. I mean, Taraji P over there pulling up her top to her bikini, looking like, she's in another slave movie or some shit. Look at this shit. Yeah, no. No. But motherfuckers will lie and say these. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I'm looking at this one picture of Mary J. Man. Mary J. still looked like she in an abusive relationship and she for years. God damn. She looked like a retired boxer in the face. God damn, those drugs didn't do her well. I mean, salute to them getting their life on a, on a goddamn cruise, on a yacht. But I mean, women still want to say they don't need a man. I said it was funny because what about a person I used to go to school with who was a girl, born a girl, but changed themselves to a guy? Leave that to whatever you say they can and cannot do. Is going to try to challenge me and say, why do they need men? And I just answered it because they can't handle stress. Because a lot of the shit that women go through now and they're suffering from, they can't handle the stress like men naturally can. But yet, well, if you don't need men, right? And I say this to a lot of women, if you don't need men, don't worry about a man paying for the first date. How about that? You take them out. How about that? You so much of an independent woman to get your independent freak ass wallet out and pay. Oh, but you're not gonna shut the fuck up about it, will you? These niggas want boyfriends. End of story. All these niggas want to do is find new ways to show the world how fucking insecure they are. We're not insecure. We just don't want old bitches. First of all, if you over 50, you're in grandparent status. Okay, let's tell the truth. Because by the time I'm 50, my son will be in his 20s. As a matter of fact, to be quite exact, when I'm 50, my son will be 25. So I'm pretty much in grandparent status. You feel me? See, if the difference is this, you keep your body in shape as a guy, you can get anything you want. Women's beauty fade very early in life. Like, think about it. If you dealt with a woman who has no history of respecting men, dealing with men, being in relationships with men, what are you really getting out there? Most of the time, the older the chick, the more kids she's gonna have. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. But yet, life gets better for men past 35. Because guess what? You gotta run and do dumb shit in your teens, run and do dumb shit in your 20s. You calm down and start to understand the world in your 30s. 35, if you've been doing what you need to do at 35, from 18 to 34, 35 is when you start taking off in money. All you gotta do is keep yourself in shape, keep getting your degrees, your certifications, your gigs, your careers. That's why you got to think about it. My man said 90 Mary had nice legs. 2022 Mary looked like she should be passing out. She should be wearing a shawl and a rocking chair passing out peppermints. I mean, she deal peppermints like she dealing crack, man. See, a man at 50 is a lot different than a woman at 50. I'll tell you the truth. A man at 50 could damn near start a whole family. You goddamn right. Keeps himself up. Yes, Mary J. Blige. If you look at her face, she looked like a retired Riddick Bowe. And these women saying she looked good. No, I have no problem with women who are in their 50s on a yacht enjoying themselves. But you out there twerking and thotting around, that's not a good look. But then you'll cry that men don't respect you. You'll cry that men don't respect you. Namer said, Charles Faulkner Jr., men can handle stress. However, each man has his breaking point. No woman can comprehend that unless in a healthy relationship and in tune to that man's game plan. Nigga, you said a mouthful. And that's what she said. But anyway, um, you got to think about this. How many women nowadays are taught to be wives? How many are taught to respect men? And it goes back to this. I don't think you should see women who were formerly beautiful in their prime single at 50. It's not the men leaving, it's 80% women filing for divorces if you even get married. But like I said, if you want the stress, if you're independent, then that means why you always worried if I take you out? Take me out. But you don't want to deal with that fact. If you're truly independent, you would have no problem spending money on a nigga. Well, then again, y'all don't have problems if it's the nigga you find attractive. If it's the nigga that make your pussy wet and look like Niagara Falls, you spend all the money, even if he's not a good nigga. The fucked up part about it is this is who you have babies by. You don't have babies by like niggas who look like they're gonna be the greatest dad in the world. Niggas that's gonna stay by you. No, you're gonna have babies by fuck niggas. Fry cooks, fucking shoe shine boys, dishwashing niggas, and complain about it. Thank you. Complain about it. Bitch, you dealt the cards. We're playing Uno. You're mad at your hand. Bitch, You dealt. But then when somebody says, hey, this is the type of man you should look for, this is the type of man you should get, say it louder. That's why I said, when I'm married, I got a 19, and how old are you, 15? I got a 19 and a 15-year-old in the back seat. You think black boys and black young men are not on some new shit? The motto of the average black teenage boy and young man is find them, fuck them, and flee them. It is very hard to be an incel in the black community. These bitches are throwing out fucking pussy like fucking batarangs. They throwing pussy like this, folks. Hold up. Hold up. Here we go.
Wow, what's up?
But yet, here's the crazy part. Oh yeah, what's up, Snowman AB, Simply D, Namer, Deacon Dave, Trell, Dari, Donnie Mac, Mel. But back to the thing. How the fuck is it that when you're at your most desirable, you can't lock down the best man? If I had a daughter, and I say this to my mans whose daughter is the same age as my son, I will pay a ransoms fee. I will pay a wife's fee because I know you raised your daughter properly for her to marry my son. I'm willing to do that. Take it back old school. I know she comes from good stock. You know he comes from my good stock. Let's build. Let's make an empire with our families combined. But no, you give these bitches the right to choose, and guess what they're gonna choose? Bullshit niggas. How you finding shit and you can't pull a nigga making money? You telling me, right? You go to Morgan State over there in Northeast Baltimore. Some of the best engineers, one of, if not the best engineering school in the country, right? None of these chicks who's fine as hell said, you know what, I'm gonna get me one of these engineering niggas because I know when he leave this school, he gonna be making about 6 figures stepping out the grate. No. You know who they gonna mess with? They gonna mess with the niggas down the street on the block who selling nick and dime bags, who don't have a pot to piss in, and sharing Jordans with his homeboy. The nigga has to save up $5 to get a fresh tea. They gotta mess with the dirty ass niggas who gotta flip their underwear inside out. How you got white socks that turn gray? I swear to God, black chicks must love dirty niggas, man. I could put on Creed Aventus right now, which is at my house, and a couple of chicks that give me compliments, but it ain't nothing like that dirty nigga who smelled like he did a whole half court of basketball, wrestled a whole tournament, and then slept in a basement, never washed. Nigga sprayed some Axe body spray. Excuse me, can I get your number? Nigga got a dirty ass Black and Mild. He was smoking the same goddamn Black and Mild plastic for 2 days. Bruh smell like some goddamn dumpster juice, and these bitches love him. They love literally his dirty drawers. You awake now? You awake now? Uh huh. Uh huh. They be like, yo, that's what they want. They want these little hardcore wannabe rapper niggas. Like, his nickname a little Dusty and shit. His tag team partner, a lot of dirty. I swear to God, man. Never had a shape up in 3 years. Dreadlocks look like fucking bull ropes. Like, you ever seen a nigga so dirty he lift his armpits up and look like ants are coming out of it? Like you'll have a whole colony. Like his shit went like the hair on his chest went from taco meat to like lasagna or some shit. Like what the fuck is that? Like nigga got shaving bumps on the bottom of his feet. Like all kinds of nasty shit that these chicks like. But yet, when they have the opportunity to get a great man that'll treat them well, they say fuck it. G me out. But then by the time they get to 25, 30, a lot of these chicks got more bodies than the dudes. Oh, trust me. For all you dudes who listen to me that's 25 and under, guess what? By the time you 25, that bitch had a whole Royal Rumble in her mouth. But this is the type of chicks they said, oh, Mary, it's fine. Look, I'm not trying to see grandma, on a G string. Come on now. They gonna be saying the same thing when these chicks hit 61. God damn. Well, they look good to me. Y'all know goddamn well, as competitive as you bitches are, not everybody gonna be looking good. It's amazing that all these bitches with fucking turkey necks look good, but the niggas who keep them in shape, they fuck boys. Oh, you can't date anybody within your age. Neither can Mary J. You ever notice Nicki Minaj, Mary J, Taraji P, Holly Berry? You ever notice, and especially Holly Berry, how the fuck do you go from a baseball star to an R&B singer to some West bumfuck white boy who took your kid that you had and you got to pay him child support? Get the fuck out of here, you dumb motherfuckers. It's a damn shame when you look at a motherfucker and he's so dirty that his teeth got AIDS. But god damn. Shit. Motherfucking toothbrush look like he's doing gang signs and shit. Damn. Yep, they want a roughneck. And you don't get no rougher than a nigga who don't bathe. Take off his underwear, sound like Velcro. I'm gonna tell you, man, it's cosign and fuckery. One guy who still keeps himself up, got his money, getting married to a former Miss Universe. What does that tell you? Why couldn't Taraji P? Why couldn't Mary J? Why couldn't they get hitched up to fucking Mark Anthony? You know why? Because nobody wants their old asses except a bunch of young boys ready to fuck. And for all these chicks out there who keep saying this, don't forget to hit the cash app, hit the super chat. Here's the crazy part, right? They don't tell you a lot of the real shit. They don't tell you the real story about, women talk about, I'm still fine in my 40s and 50s. No, you just get easier in your 40s and 50s. Back in your 20s, nigga needed to take you to Ruth Chris. And all these niggas need to do is take you to the value meal section in the fucking drive-thru. Matter of fact, back in the day, you needed to get some Remy Martin VSOP, or you need some Casamigos. All you need to do is get this bitch some Thunderbird and shit. Some Colt 45 and you in the drawers. When she was all fine and shit and she was a nine when she was young, you had to have a drop top to pull her. Now you need a golf cart. Like, Ooh, what's that? It's a Hot Wheels. Can I get in? Go ahead, bitch. Yo. Like you right. 40 plus out here passing out their recycled cardboard box. I mean, it's not even cardboard anymore. That shit is fossilized. Like, there's a reason why men laugh at 50 single-year-old women. But that's the point I'm making, Namer. Did you see that she went down in value and value and value? Nobody heard of some Gabrielle Aubrey. Nobody heard about no Oliver Martinez. Who the fuck are you? Nobody knows these niggas. I'm pretty sure when David Justice and Eric Benet was the epitome of what she was, but notice she got lower, lower, lower. Shout out to the snowman. Woo! Thank you for the support, brother man. And see, what makes it real interesting is that reality always had to be dictated and dominated for the men and never the women. She can live her best life at 50. Once again, 50 for me would be my son would be 25. So legitimately, I can be a grandparent. And he would be a full-fledged adult. The fuck would I do if I was a 50-year-old woman with a 25-year-old son on a boat shaking my wrinkled ass? The fuck I look like? All right, congrats. An early happy birthday. Turning 33 next month, a lot of growth and progression since finding this space. Exactly. And see, I've read that, and that's just on my Facebook. So if you're friends on me with Facebook, you'll see what the hell I'm talking about. Just look for them. Don't even say anything in the chat. Just look for what they say. Notice, you want to shit on the guy who did everything right and got his wealth together, that he can marry a younger woman and take care of her and whatever kids they decide to make. But it's okay for these chicks with no intrinsic value. One chick been a single mom since forever, didn't want to get married, was with the top stars. Same thing with Mary J. She was surrounded by you. You were. It's like being in the police department or military, and you don't realize how spoiled you are as a woman, because only 12% of women are in the police department and military. Okay, only 12. So you're surrounded by men who make anywhere, and even if your starting year you're making 50 something a year, you're probably not making that, because if you're a rookie, you're probably making more closer to 65 because you're being drafted. And you have the energy to actually do the overtime. So you're surrounded by guys who make 65,000 to 200,000 plus a year, and you can't even pick those men, and you're outnumbered. What, 8-1? You're a loser. What's up, Mike? And Mike, I'm about to say something. There's a female that we know that we cool with. She's a sergeant, 41 years old. Claims she's a virgin. Believe that if you want, or believe that if you will. You're surrounded by all these guys who make all this money. You got the short guys, tall guys, dark guys, white guys, black guys, and you can't even get one. Why is that? None of you chicks landed a decent guy in the police department alone. That's where most couples meet, at work. Think about it. Think about it. Nobody wants to talk about the reason why it looks funny to see this shit. Because when Mary was on top, when Taraji was on her highest of her beauty, y'all didn't want to settle down. You thought career, and then what happens? Now you look silly twerking your old ass on a boat. Where this man at 53 is getting married. Where the men who were your age don't want you because you lost intrinsic value. My goal to tell women out there, don't lose value.
That can go so many ways.
I just think that, honestly, when it comes to a lot of shit that a lot of people see as co-signing the bullshit. Now, think about it. What happens to pretty chicks who can't get a man? They resort to lesbianism. That's all. Anytime black men have a critique of black women, it's putting down black women. But it's okay for black women to have an honest study of black men and their behavior types. Charles Irby said, "My two daughters go to Virginia State and North Carolina A&T." Excuse me. I told them, you can't land a husband at these two HBCUs. That's a huge loss for the. Exactly. Any father who's worth a damn will tell his daughter the absolute truth. Any father who's worth a damn will tell his daughter the absolute truth. Honey, you're only going to be beautiful, but for so long. And we allow so many times for men to be held accountable for their shit and their actions. But we allow women to sit there in obsolescence in their thoughts and their dreams. Think about it. want you to really think about this, man. When you actually see this shit, you got these women on both these posts I have on Facebook talking about a lot of these younger men are running to older women. No, you're buying them. Stop the bullshit. You're buying them. You're buying them. My man Mike W. Bro, I don't get it. For years I've been making well over six figures. Got a house built, and now I'm building a trucking company. And it's not enough for black women. Shaking my head. Of course. Because we allowed them for so long to live in delusion. And it's not even hatred, it's just being honest. How can a delusional creature literally co-sign, co-sign this fuckery? You got two women who were at the top of their game at some point in their industries, respectively. And you couldn't keep a husband, and then the men they marry are lesser men than them. So they're gonna get pissed at everybody else. They're gonna get pissed. They're gonna get pissed at everybody else for their fucking shortcomings. Their bullshit. We got A.L. Evans, Petaway Boy, and Underrated. What's up, Underrated? My man Shaka Nulu said, Mike W., you're going to have to move on from them. Your happiness comes first. Facts. 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 Listen to the brothers. They said explore your horizons. Rock with the women that appreciate you. Another fellow officer here, Rob Marsh. You better off with a Latina in this state. It's no different than when you left the city, went to the county, go where you're going to be a lot more appreciated and respected. See, at some point, Mike could tell you, when we worked at the city, it seemed like the guys with the veteran years were getting even more disrespected. When we came up as rookies, you didn't see you didn't even see lieutenants disrespect a senior officer. A guy who's been there 15, 20, 35 years. You didn't see a lieutenant disrespect an officer. Now, you're having rookies disrespect fucking senior officers. You go where you're appreciated. All right, what's up, Shaka? Look, I'm still being told by many I'm a traitor because I married a white woman. See, they don't ask you if you're in love. They get hurt because you married somebody outside your race and look for happiness. You're not allowed to be happy, black man. Just letting you know. Not allowed to be happy. Not allowed to be happy. That's going to be the plan too. To visit Colombia, to visit the DR, visit Puerto Rico. Yeah, you're right. The police departments and the force, yeah, they're very disrespectful to seniority now. How the fuck is it you got a rookie with 2 years on and they're in neighborhood services? How the fuck is it that they have a sergeant who came out of neighborhood services and he was in neighborhood services for 2, 3 years, never been on the street? This the same motherfucker who the fucking, what is it, like 3, 4 months he was on the street? He fucking left his gun in a bag out inside the fucking district room. Yeah, you seen that shit on that Facebook post earlier, huh? They ain't shit, are they? But these the same chicks that will say all that shit, but they love black men. Now these chicks talk about the other posts. I'm gonna read this shit for y'all. Y'all gonna laugh at this. It's always the ones posting an older gentleman celebrity with money that has a younger chick saying what he thinks regular men as a collective should do. This motherfucker doesn't understand the mind of a young woman in 2022. It's all about the money, honey. Most don't even want marriage. They want a baby and child support. Isn't that most women? Is that not most women? Here it is. That's most women, regardless of age groups. Hit that Cash App. Hit that PayPal. Hit that goddamn super chat, man. God damn, I'm giving them the work of God right now. This chick, read this shit here, man. Oh, oh my God, this shit is funny. Like, look at this shit. Read this shit here. What she said about young chicks. Oh my God. Oh my God. Most women aren't marriage material, but won't talk about that. And look what I wrote back to her. Isn't that most women, regardless of age? You got 40-year-old chicks who trap a nigga for child support. They tell you quick, must be the money. This is what they think of you. She said, it's funny because younger men are running to from younger, living my best life females and heading towards older, mature women, while older men are making posts like that. See, younger women, they fitting to get played like a fiddle. And I was like, yeah, since when? And she's like, Charles fought that since younger women been on their best life. Why are younger men chasing older women? It's usually because they're much more sexually available. In other words, they get easier. Mike said the problem women are, women nowadays are not humble, too spoiled. It's said that we as black men have to resort to third world countries to get women who are raised with values and morals. You don't want a first round woman anymore. And you're right, Rob. Older women pay to play. You think these older women ain't trying to get no 15, 16-year-old dick? Guess what? Some of the biggest pedophiles in the black community are some of your mom's best friends. Just saying. Just saying. I'm scared to let my son go around his mom's friends sometimes. You don't know what the fucking on their mind. Oh, he look real handsome. He getting real tall. I could break him out. You don't know how many of these chicks out there. I'm gonna say it one more time. Y'all keep thinking the pedophiles in our fucking community is like I like the men. No, a lot of them are your mom's friends, man, who've been checking you out since you were a little kid. Sorry. I mean, you're gonna have to learn these harsh facts that in the community, a lot of shit that goes down in our community. It's only a one way thing, man. Only a one way thing. We don't talk about the. You got to think about this. They don't talk about the. They don't talk about the teachers that prey on young boys. They don't talk about the teachers that. They don't talk about that shit. Yeah, older women just want to have fun, but to have a family with, no, they're easier. God rest her soul. At the female who got stabbed 18 times in Philly, his profile said street pharmacist. Yeah, that's what they're picking. That right there just tells you they want the dangerous, they want the exciting, they want something that they know they cannot have, they should not have, but for some odd reason, they're going to try to take it upon themselves to get this fucking person. It's a damn shame that these women don't even teach their daughters to be wives or to pick good men. You know why? When do you see men in our community try to chase after the same woman as their son? Hmm? But you see a lot of mothers out there dating with their daughters. We actually have some type of shit that we don't try to be some nasty individuals. Or at least argue with them. You don't even have honor. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's nothing new in the black community. A lot of black boys. I'm gonna tell you what. A lot of black boys, when they reach 15, 16, hell even 14, hell not even that. There's a lot of black boys in our community who lost their virginities at the age of 10 to a 20 something year old. The age of 12 to a 20 something year old. There was a video where a sister was fighting one of her best friends and beating the shit out of her because she slept with her little brother who was 12, 13 years old. They don't tell you that shit, do you? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. We're always told to be sexually responsible, but yet the people who are sexually irresponsible treat their wombs like trash cans. Let anybody throw something in it. Yeah. You literally got westernized women because they couldn't get a man of their own or stay with the father. She's out there clubbing with her daughter. I'm 40. My dad's 65. You think we gonna be out in the club somewhere together? Hell no. We perfectly fine at his house or my house watching Gunsmoke or Bonanza or fucking RoboCop or Bloodsport, some shit like that. Talking about the good old days when I was little and he was younger. We ain't trying to be up there fucking the same chick. See, it's amazing that he remarried, stayed with the same woman for over 25 years, and got a house. Most women in his age bracket can't get remarried or married, period. See, this is the bad part about being from a gynocentric culture. We think in terms of female time. Why do you think white boys don't have a problem building a business at 35, 40? Think about that. They don't think in female time. I gotta do all this stuff quick. No, because they know most of the shit you're gonna do as a man is gonna take fucking time. Females want you to get all this shit together while they're still young and they can have options to fuck the next nigga for your shit. We think in a gynocentric nature. Guess what? Some of you niggas might not get married till 40. Some of you niggas might not get married till 45. You might not start a business till 35, 40, 45, 50. But you got time. Think about it. We go off of female time in the black community instead of men's time, where men knew it takes time to grow an empire. We think everything's going to come quick. The only thing that should come quick is you, so you can get it the hell out of your house. The craziness about this is that you want to be the guy who spent years developing themselves. Hold on for a sec. You know what? I'm gonna say this, Mike. Stay away from dream killers. All these chicks will say, "Well, it's not gonna work." Maybe because you already defeated who. Like, I don't get it. You're telling somebody that they put their God-given business and money into something's not gonna work. Who the hell are you? But yet, if you were making the money, she'd be really supportive, but can't support before then, huh? A lot of these chicks in our community ain't worth shit, ain't worth shit, ain't worth shit. But then, once again, they want dirtball niggas to have babies by. Toya said, "Yikes." Speaking of good women, what's up, Toya? How you doing, love? She was like, "You will spend twice as much on the road." I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." So, so would you rather spend twice as much on the road, making your own money, or to be around somebody who's gonna try to steal your dreams or beat you down for trying to be positive in your life? Like, man, they accept too much bullshit in this community. As soon as you try to make a little progression, the haters are gonna come out, and they're gonna come out in full force. I mean, them niggas, them niggas are gonna come out like Captain Planet. You know what's funny? That's one of the sayings in our group. You dodged a bullet. Sometimes a chick like that, you dodge a nuke. Like, You're a bad motherfucker if you dodge a nuke. I want you to think about that. Let me put it to you this way. You want to be a millionaire? It's very simple. Look at poor people and stupid people, watch them, and do the complete opposite. It's very easy. Realize you're not going to have a lot of loyalty. You're not going to have a lot of people who are on your side. It's just what it is. Oh, you think people hating on you now? You think people hating on you now? You make one clear dollar to your business, people are gonna piss all over you, man. People are gonna piss all over you. I'm just gonna let you know. You're gonna have a lot of people in there who are gonna piss all over your dreams. You're gonna have to be the one to actually make something of them. You're not gonna rely on the next person to see your dreams because when you dream, only one person can visualize it, and it's you. There's a reason why. There's a reason why Belvis DeVoe said, "Hey, don't trust a big butt and a smile." You can't trust some people. You got to be around people who support and admire you. Hey, I support you 100%. Hopefully, we can. At one point, we can combine the business. You do the transportation, we do the security. But you know my motto when it came with the department. If these motherfuckers didn't want to make me a sergeant, I'm gonna make myself a CEO. I'm gonna make myself the commander. Fuck that. You may not see my greatness, but you damn sure gonna see me when I'm pissing greatness. That's right, Dari. Success is the road less traveled. We approve of that. How many times you hear it? How many times you hear it? I want a successful man. I want a man like this. Are you being what the successful man needs you to be? Are you going to be an asset or a liability? And when you look at the women, God damn, what the fuck is wrong with this car? When you look at the women in that post, you could tell they're nothing but liabilities. They're nothing but liabilities. For what? For what? How can you be a liability, but you want a man? But you want a man that's great. Great men need a supporting cast. And sometimes you got to be your supporting cast. You got to be the one man show, the one man band. You got to be the greatest and the latest. By the way, sooner or later, we're going to post the business of the week. For everybody who got a business, we're going to post it in the community tabs. And we're going to see if we get some support in your area since a lot of us have not only national but international subscribers, fans, and listeners. we're gonna start supporting. We're gonna start supporting a lot of our brothers when it comes to business, when it comes to careers. We're gonna have a career day where we talk to a PhD, where we talk to a police officer, a firefighter, a paramedic, an EMT, a doctor, a lawyer, an HVAC, a trucker. We're going to talk to various people because you got to understand there's a lot of young men out there who are looking for careers and need men of ilk and character and skill to actually coach them to greatness. That's what we're missing. That is exactly what we're missing. Think about it. When it comes down to it, the only person who's going to pick up another black man is another black man. Donnie Mac said he just got back. Tell Dr. Tell Dr. J to swing some views and subscribers my way. But it's all good in the hood. Salute to the good Dr. T.S.R. Johnson. I'm pretty sure everybody subscribed to him, but if not, please subscribe to Dr. T.S.R. Johnson. I'm gonna tell you one thing about it: get a trade, and if you choose to, get a degree. Have the trade pay for the degree, but also have the trade as your backup. Oh, I forgot I was muted. But yeah, you gotta have a mental mindset and be surrounded by positive, working, willing, successful people. You can't just have people who are gonna be leeches because I'm gonna tell you, Mike, a person like that sounds like a damn leech. It's gonna be a leech. You don't want leeches sucking the blood out of your body or out of your business. Always taken out from your business. Who needs that? Who needs that? Yet, once you become successful, oh yeah, you need your licenses because I had to get a bunch of licenses for my business. That's why, as well, support to the and thank you for those who did support, and salute to those who supported my GoFundMe. Trying to send myself and a couple of people to SWAT training. Hey, who better to protect your community than us? Who better to protect? Who better to protect us than us? Ultimately, who's better to protect us than us? Why don't we actually start to do something different and actually invest in young black men? Get them a future. Get them away. Get them some skills. Get them some education. We don't like that. You know why? Because if we actually do that for black men, guess what's going to happen? A lot of bullshit is going to cease and desist. A lot of behavior in our fucking community will no longer exist. Oh yeah, HVAC tech. Mm. Oh, they making dough. Earl George said, "Love my mom and my sister, but they were both liabilities, always in some MLMs. Fast money, scheming, poor spending habits before they passed away. Mm. Me and pops are always bailing them out too. Yeah, that's what you become in a lot of these communities. Is the scapegoat. It's the scapegoat of the community. Nobody, nobody respects the fact that you're the one put your neck out there for them. They expect you to do it because you're supposed to. Now, just to let you know, here's the Cash App. If you're donating by Cash App, here's StreamYards for anybody who wants to join the panel. Now, got to light the cigar. Woo! Mr. Evans, how you doing? It's Sir Evans of Trucking. How you doing?
What's good, my friend? Just stepped up here to say, hey, see you having a peaceful Monday. Better than mine, man, but you know, it is what it is. Keep inspiring these men, keep telling them what they need to hear, and keep pushing, Charles. You my brother, my champion, my soul.
We're gonna try because if you've shown, and if anybody's my Facebook friend, you could see what's been put out about us. Nobody wants us to succeed.
Nope.
Think about it. All them women was saluting Mary J. and Taraji P. Fighting up on a ship with a bunch of young men. But yet, a guy said I'm gonna marry a younger woman and make an honest woman out of her. We got shit on. I'm not upset that an older man married a younger woman. That's what we've been doing throughout the fucking course of human history.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure they did that shit in Axum, right?
Hell yeah. Even now.
Shout out to another hard-working, technically sound, skilled brother, the electrician 480 with the $5 super chat. I'm taking my career to the next level. I'm doing a lot of reading on robotic automatrons and guaranteed 150K salary as an electrician. God damn. Woo to that. Yeah.
Do they see electrician for it?
Do that shit in style while you're doing it. I'm gonna have to stay
Hey, Charles.
with you because hey, I might need some of your assistance when it comes to like putting up wires and security for people's homes and also for that for those robotics. Trust me. My man said he gonna be the next Tony. He gonna be the real Tony Stark. Fuck that.
That's what's up. Excuse me, Charles.
Yes, sir.
First of all, what I'm doing right now is it's almost 2 in the morning over here, and the ghost of Bertie Mac is probably going to be wanting to take a step back and say bust a move because I'm getting myself some milk and cookies. But, and I'm an adult and I can get away with it. But you talk about, older men marrying younger women. It's also in accordance with the circumstance.
Yeah.
I'll give an example of from within my own family, which is an exception to that. Or we talked about the circumstances not being right for that shit.
Yeah.
is it's my great grandfather on my father's mother's side. When my great grandmother passed away, my mother and her four siblings were trying to convince him to remarry. He said, no, this man had lived a long life. This man was a veteran from World War II and whatnot. And he was like,
good God, he spent a long time kicking Italian ass, didn't
he fought, no, actually, he fought on the Italian side.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like a lot of them. He also fought in Libya, and a lot of them, and he's one of the, and like so many, he counts his blessings that he came back home alive because they were fucking cannon fodder in that shit.
Yeah, they just sent them poor men out to like some, like there's some poor bastards to be shields.
Don't get me started on that, man. Don't get me started on that. Anyway, when he was asked if he wanted to remarry, he said, "Nah, I'm good." And his five children were like, "Daddy, why not?" He said, "Look, I'm old. My children are all grown up. I've got grandchildren. I've got to raise and help you prepare for prepare for adulthood. I ain't got time to be getting with some young girl and having new babies. I'm too old for that shit." He didn't say it like that because, from where they're from, you got to keep it clean and Christian-like. He said, but I'm old and I ain't got time for this. The only thing I need is to live long enough to see my grandchildren have children of their own. And so he never got married. He never remarried until this one time. And fortunately, the woman they had him married was a woman his age. She was a widow herself. And they had a wedding and everything. And my great-grandma and my grandma and everybody, they took care of her like she was their own mother. So after my grandfather passed, she eventually passed. And it was all good. But given the circumstances, he had no desire and he had no interest to remarry or have a younger wife. It just wasn't the point. It was pointless for him. But other men, they do want to have younger wives under certain circumstances. Like, what is it? D.L. Hughley said it about his own wife. He said to the men who were married, he said, "You know what, fellas? You know you love a woman when you stay with her during menopause." You understand what I'm saying here? The shit they go through at that time is just like, what the fuck? I know it's part of womanhood, but you're like, you can't deal with that shit, and that fucks up your sex life. It's no wonder some guys prefer to have a side chick or something like that because of shit like this. I mean, even Patrice O'Neal had a bit about the difference between older women and younger women. He said an older woman is like a box of half-eaten crackers. If a 40-year-old chick, he said, if I'm with a 40-year-old chick, I said, hand me some stale Cracker Jacks. She'd be like, come and get them. He'd be like, just throw them on the floor. Say, oh, there's no fries. Where the fuck's the magnifying glass?
Yeah.
Got me calling on the floor for stale Cracker Jacks. Man, get the fuck out of here.
You got to remember, Namer, the value a woman have after her years of fertility was in her personality, her caring, her loving, her supportive ways. She was fun.
And wisdom.
Her wisdom.
And wisdom.
Fun.
Because in many traditional African societies, as the notion is like this, the woman's usually the first to grow old, but the man is usually the first to die. And so most women, they live, although it's a patriarchy, in every house, if the fathers have not lived a long life, it's usually the mothers who are head of the household. So you have somewhat of a pseudo matriarchy, and the mothers make it a point to maintain the culture and the heritage.
And believe it or not, a matriarchy ran right is not a bad thing for men, because guess what? It made that house in the Aksumite Empire, both Ethiopian and
In fact, the Nubians were a matriarchy, and they had it right.
you got to think about it. When you got a proper matriarchy, they're gonna be. I'm gonna say this for a lot of you ignorant motherfuckers out there. A proper matriarchy is extremely hard on the boys. You know why? Because them boys are being sent out there to be warriors. Them chicks know
Oh yeah.
we can't fight these wars. We can't build these buildings. We can't get. We're gonna make sure these motherfuckers are gonna be some hard ass men. See,
The Nubians were no joke.
a gynocracy, which we're under, is
Mm,
is worse because the boys are never factored in.
absolutely. I
So,
mean,
hold
I
on.
grew up under. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, LB, I'm gonna do the same thing you're going to me. You're gonna look me right dead in my face and not speak. I'm gonna be just like you. You're gonna shake my hand instead of saying "What's up? How you doing, sir?" Yes. I'm like, Am I not older than you by like 30 years?
Teach
Yeah, you
him,
old enough to be
Charles.
his,
Teach him.
you old enough to be his daddy.
I'm old enough to be his granddaddy, actually.
Yeah.
When you see, people don't understand that culture that we have
Mm.
because guess what? His grandmother got on my case. You better speak to me. So hey, she laughed and giggled, and she was like, "Hey," she laughed at it because she's like, "Hey, get him, teach him,
Mm.
because you
A
can't go in."
grandmother always knew.
I
A
get that.
grandmother always knew in certain situations when it
I
comes to certain things or certain talks, when it comes to certain things or certain things that had to be handled, it wasn't her place to do it. Instead, she would just contact either my father or my uncle and say, "Listen, there's this, that, and the third I need taken care of. Could you please handle this for me?" And they'd be like, "No problem, Mama. We got this for you."
you got to think about it. You know, you're right, George, Harold George. Got to check it as soon as you catch it. Look,
Mm.
young black men don't understand something. The reason why in a patriot, this is the reason what
Please tell
BGS is
me.
saying to a lot of people. In a matriarchy,
Mm.
women ran the house. Women were the maintainers. They were the day to day people. Even in a
Yeah,
matriarchy, the man still was the chief executive officer. Okay,
absolutely.
but those women ran that fucking household like the Citadel. Okay, they
They be
made those
deceived.
Mm-hmm.
they made those boys hard. They made them intelligent because they treated that boy like somebody else's husband. You were no At a certain age, you were no longer her son. You were no longer her child. You may forever be her son, but you were never her child after a certain age. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And a patriarchy, guess what, fellas? For everybody who's screaming they want patriarchy, remember, everything's on you, nigga.
I think
Right.
about my father. Oh, go ahead, Pookie.
Oh, but yeah. And, what I just wanted to add is I was just getting off watching the Dr. Tia song about um what's his name, Perry. What's his name? God damn it, Tyler Perry. And his younger experiences, like I completely agree with a lot of his stances that molestation is an underlooked issue, but I don't understand how he gets from molestation is an overlooked, underlooked issue for Black people in general, but he gets all the way to women's struggle needs to be paying attention to and stuff like that. And in comparison, men don't struggle. I don't know how you can correlate those two things, especially when in your early life you got molested by a man and a woman.
But you
So
gotta
I don't
realize,
understand. Yeah,
you gotta
Wait,
realize.
wait, wait. What? What? Explain this
Hold
to
on,
me
hold on,
again.
hold
Tyler
on.
Tyler Perry got molested by his former pastor, one of the pulpit people, and he got molested by one of his childhood friends, one of their moms, because she decided
Oh,
basically she had locked him in a room and just put the key in her pussy hole, and he was talking about in the interview how he felt. I felt so ashamed because I got hard, and it was such an emphasis on his penis. It was such an emphasis on him when you're the one that's actually getting fucking
Well,
molested.
well,
Like the shit is
you gotta realize this, man. In the black community, who's the least cared for?
The Negro male,
What is a gynocracy?
Negro woman-led system,
A bastardized woman-led system.
bastardized Negro woman-led system.
So you got to remember, if you're the true if you're the true matriarchy, the women are the day-to-day maintainers. Think of
True.
it as your supervisor. If you're in the police department, you got your sergeant. Your sergeant is the guy who runs the squad. But guess who really runs the squad? That senior officer runs the squad. That sergeant's the motherfucker who signs the reports and dictates with the lieutenant. But the lieutenant is the dad. He's gonna make the ultimate final decision. Unless something needs to be brought down from fucking Mount Zion when the man speaks, he's not gonna go against that woman's rule. Because he's too busy doing what? Creating society and earning wealth for the family.
Handle his business.
So he needs a woman who can maintain some shit. Who's gonna be hard, the right type of hard. I'll put it to you this way, Donnie Mac. The FBI does go foreign affairs. If they have like a bombing on a U.S. embassy or a military place, the FBI coming out there. The CIA is more.
I'll give you an example of that.
CIA
internal,
is
right?
Spy. They're more spy. They're more espionage. Go ahead.
Charles, I'll give you an example. 1996, the Kobar bombing that took place in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
FBI agents were sent there to investigate that because it attacked U.S. First Army personnel and civilians.
Yeah, they do. They do more stealth work, more espionage and stuff like that. FBI is more in your face.
They're more. Remember, what does the CIA stand for?
Covert
Central Intelligence Agency.
Central Intelligence. Intelligence means what? Espionage.
espionage.
Spying.
They're doing a lot of reconnaissance. They're doing a lot of information. Think about it. The FBI is what? The federal what?
Bureau
of Investigation.
What's the number one law enforcement agency in the country?
Federal Bureau of Investigation. FBI.
I'll give you bonus points if you tell me what's the oldest law enforcement agency in the United States.
Fuck. Oh, is it the FBI?
No, U.S. Marshals.
It's a secret service.
Damn.
Or
U.S. Marshals. Yep, U.S. Marshals. They've been Wild West.
Even though
the
Baltimore Police Department can trace their origins back to 1784.
Yeah, because y'all Baltimore all them East Coast precincts are old as fuck, man. Especially Boston, Baltimore, Massachusetts, Baltimore, Maryland in general. Shit, Rhode Island, New York,
Philadelphia. I mean, you gotta think that's the oldest part of the United States. Period.
You gotta go upstate for New York because that's where the older ones are at.
And you gotta realize this, man. When it comes to a lot of maintaining, think about it. These chicks want to tell me, oh, these new 2020 chicks, they looking for the bag. You gotta understand, old men don't care if you're looking for the bag. That's what that's what they know that's gonna attract younger, beautiful women. What did homeboy say from the Bunny Ranch? From the Hugh Hefner. He says, I don't care what they're here for, I just care that they're here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because that's ultimately what matters for his ends. That's kind of cold, but it is what it is.
I mean,
wait, hold on a second. Charles.
Yep.
You mean the Playboy Mansion? The Bunny Ranch was out in Vegas.
The Playboy Mansion. I stand corrected.
Oh, by the way, I got to mention something about the Nubians. Yes, they were a matriarchy, and they were a matrilineal line because the line of ascension was through the mother. Yeah. Kings were chosen through the mother's side, I believe it was.
Yeah, because you didn't have
and
DNA.
As far as warriors go, before the British longbow, the baddest archers around were the Nubians. They were no fucking joke.
Especially they mastered chariot, shooting it from a chariot.
Mm-hmm.
which is very difficult to shoot anything from a moving vehicle within shorts. And to hit your target is fucking amazing. That's why the
Oh
Apache,
man,
that's why the Apaches, the
Comanche,
the Apaches,
the Plain Indians, Lakota,
what's the
Blackfeet,
um,
Crow,
what's the Genghis Khan group? The Mongol Empire. You know, they were
the
pretty.
Mongols,
The Mongols were pretty good at that
also
shit.
all the Turkic tribes like the Kyrgyz, the Uzbek, the Kazakh.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a guy. His name is Oblai Khan. He was or Mansour Khan. He was the head of the Kazakh Khanate. There's a movie about him called
Hey,
Nomad. Worth looking up.
didn't the Kazakh invade China?
No, that
They
was the
invade.
Mongol.
The
That was the
Mongols.
Mongol. Okay.
Well, you
I
had
don't know
the
because there was a couple of
Egyptians,
Mongols.
the Athenians.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Assyrians. They were vicious. The Persians, they were something else.
Yeah. The Persians benefited for having so many different cultures within their empire. You know,
Their diplomacy was the exact opposite of the Assyrians too.
little historical fact. The term King of Kings or Emperor actually existed 1,000 years before Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and it came from Persia, which
They're
literally,
supposed to.
meant King of Kings.
Yeah.
I think the Persians they're sometimes known as they've been mistaken as the golden people of light from biblical times. There's a lot of notable things about the Persian
You
tribe.
got you got to think about it. The Persians actually rescued the Hebrews.
True, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they've been around for a minute.
Yeah,
Like even before even Romans, Greeks, nigga, them Persians been
they've been
kicking.
there for a
You know
minute.
how big of important they are in Jewish culture? You know how big of importance they are to Jewish culture? Cyrus the Great. His name is deified in the Bible. I know people whose Christian name is actually is Cyrus.
Yeah, because
That's given as a Christian name.
he rescued them.
But here's how badass Cyrus was. When his people conquered all the land, they asked him, "Should we stay in these fertile grounds?" He said, "You can do as you wish. Me, I'd rather stay out in the rugged outlands because soft land develops soft people who end up being conquered. I'd rather live out in the rough places where I can maintain my hardness and my combative edge."
That's
And
why.
his followers thought he was wise, truly wise.
That's why a lot of times when people play sports, what do?
Mm-hmm.
They want to come in there easy. No, you got to go in there with the Lions. Yeah, you're gonna get your ass handed to you, but you're gonna get up. You're gonna get better.
You want to compete. You want to be like what's his name? Not Jamal Lewis. The Jamal somebody who played it for the Falcons, the running back of the Falcons.
No, you talk about the Dirty Bird.
Yeah, the Dirty Bird. Remember what he said when he was coming back from an ACL tear? He said, "I ain't gonna dance for my yards. I'm gonna be hitting people." You want to go in there like Roger Craig and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, y'all heard of this channel in the space? Well, I guess not in the space, but around the space called Mother's Milk. You ever heard of a white chick named Mother's Milk popping up in the spaces, Charles?
No, what about her?
No, I'm at Charles too. What about you, Charles? Charles.
Yep.
Oh, you ever heard of a white chick named Mother's Milk?
Nope.
Oh, basically, it's just prototypical where black women get their points from, but don't realize it. I don't know. She was reacting to this bald white dude. He's kind of notable in the main manosphere. Like, what's his fucking name? It's like Hammerhead or something like that. It's the white dude. You heard of him? You? I know you probably heard of this dude. He's like a white dude with a beard, and his name's like Hammerhead or some shit. He be in the manosphere saying that telling black people that racism isn't real and shit like that.
Well, so how long has he been black?
Nigga never.
So
Dude,
I
I can tell
can't
you,
tell it.
it never gets easier when you black. Even those of us who are fading into white, like myself, they still see me as a nigger, and I rather it be that way because I'd rather see me for what I don't even when I meet foreigners. I'm gonna tell you something, and I'll admit this, Charles. When I meet certain people, I don't even tell them I'm Norwegian. I tell them I'm actually Eritrean because I want them to give me I want them to show me what they really think of me. Because once they find out I'm a Norwegian citizen, that's when they do the 180 and shit.
Yeah.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Ooh,
Good evening, Brian. How are you doing, snowman?
Tired, but I feel great.
Yeah. Hey, how you been lately? Because I remember Friday you were kind of messed up. You doing okay? Or the Thursday?
We're not out of the woods yet. So that's why
No, that's
I
not what
don't
I was
know.
asking.
Oh,
I was asking about that
physically
one
I'm
time
just
when you had to cut the show early because physically something was up.
yeah. I'm still getting used to new eating habits and
Uh,
listening to when my stomach is full. So I had to I've had to learn that after being, as I said on the show earlier today, knocked upside the head about 4 or 5 times. Well, I finally
ow.
got it. Wife, yeah, big owl. Wife brought home some pizza tonight, and I only had a couple slices, and I didn't even finish the second slice because I've been drinking water. So
Mm,
yeah, it's a process and a half, and I must learn patience. I must. I don't have a choice now. I don't have a choice but to learn patience. But when you're learning your body all over again, minus some key parts
yeah.
like a spleen, a gallbladder, parts of your stomach.
Damn,
Yeah,
man.
it.
I'll tell you something, Brian.
I had to remember.
Um, where I'm
Yeah,
from, I have a lot of I know people from my dad's generation who are veterans from the Independence War, and some of them didn't come out of that, didn't come home intact. Some of them
right.
were disabled, shit,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them went through intense rehab, even though the shit was they didn't have they built the facilities for it. But some of them, but they were able to
Yeah.
rebuild their lives one way or another. I mean, I got an uncle. He survived. Pookie, what was that?
Um.
What you mean? I'm just adjusting real quick. You
It
good?
sound, it sounded like
I'm,
you were
I'm
splashing
reading.
somebody's jacket up. Could you
That
please
was me.
mute
I'm
up,
just
brother?
adjusting my chair. Damn, motherfucker. All right.
Thank you. I just asked nicely, brother. As I was saying,
No, I know.
I've
I
got one.
gotta.
I got one relative. As I was saying, I got one relative. One of my uncles I got to
Mhm.
meet when I was like about 9 years, 8 years old. He's missing a certain part of his own forehead, the bone of it.
Yeah,
How is because
Antonio.
this veteran got hit. He was hit with a stray bullet somehow.
Mm,
He survived. He survived. He's completely coherent. Only thing is, they had to stitch. They couldn't get the bullet out, so the bullet's still there in his
right.
head. It's
Right.
still It's still floating around his brain. But they had to stitch
Antonio.
up.
An-
Then they stitched
Antonio
it up, right?
Labs. Antonio Labs. I'm doing better. I have
Mm.
to realize my physical limitations while I heal.
Yeah.
It's like when I came home from the hospital, and y'all know this because I know y'all been following along. I've wanted to go 100 miles an hour, and I can't.
Yeah.
Not for
Hit the
the
ground running.
foreseeable. I wanted to hit the ground running. I wanted to get back on my show and get back on my grind. And now today, August 8th, I finally realized I can't go at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I've had to learn. I seriously had to learn. And
Hey,
it,
Namer, hold down the fort for me.
Yeah.
Hold down the fort for me. I gotta
Yeah.
take.
Cool. No problem, brother.
yeah. I
I mean,
had to
hey,
learn
mhm.
what
Look
my
at this
limits
way,
are.
brother. Look at it this way, brother. You know the story of Brock Lesnar?
Yes, very well.
Now, remember he had to undergo surgery because he had diverticulitis.
Yes.
He had, he had. They had to remove several inches of his own colon and his
Mm-hmm.
intestines.
Mm-hmm.
And a,
Parts of my intestines are gone, but
yeah,
I'd rather parts of my intestines be gone than me being gone.
yeah, you ain't kidding.
I'd rather parts of my intestines, my spleen, my gallbladder, whatever the heck it is that was
Hmm.
invaded by cancer, or in the words of Dick Vitale, the big C word, I'd rather have those be gone than me being gone.
Good
Like I said,
answer.
I'm celebrating every day like I'm 10 years old. Hell, my birthday, I turned 50 and I laughed, I cried, I laughed out loud, I cried out loud, I cried in my wife's arms because I am happy to see after the outlook I was given from Duke University last year, y'all know how happy I am to see my 50th birthday and my 50th year and the start of my 50th year. And this is just
Congratulations
the
on that,
start
brother.
because most of us brothers
Congratulations.
don't get to live until they're 50. Hell,
Oh,
my dad gave the world hell for 72 years before I lost him. He was 72 when he passed away in 2007.
what
So
about Grandpa?
I'm going to have to surpass that. I'm going to have to surpass that and continue my dad's legacy. And believe me, it's a legacy because he fought prostate cancer from 1991 to 2006.
God
Even
damn.
more, yeah, even more to the point, he fought it up until the day he died, and the cancer's
It's
just
like what's his face from the
It just
Whispers?
eat you up down there. Fucking eat you
yeah.
up. It's hard. It's a hard area. You know, it's a weird area about the prostate because it's always a fear of bursting the area because that'll kill you instantly. You don't want
Hmm.
to burst it, so it's hard to remove tumors. Yeah, it's fucking goddamn, man. And it's hereditary. It's in your line. Yeah.
No, I had an exam while I was in the hospital. Both of them, Duke and up here, and both are clean. I know
Okay. Cool.
I'm going to be doing one at the top of the year, but I make a promise to you, brothers. I'm going to fight my ass off for y'all and for my family
Hmm.
to keep bringing it every morning. If I got to scale my show back to 2 hours to get my strength back, and we got another esteemed gentleman in the house. If I got to scale the
What's
show
good,
back
Jesse?
to 2 hours, what's up, Jesse? Then, then
What's
I,
going on, guys?
then
I'm
I
good.
just,
I'm doing good.
I just got to scale the show back to 2 hours and
Oh,
just.
that's what the bitch's name. His name was Good Mother. Sorry about that, Snowman.
Oh,
I
it's all
just
right.
remember the chick.
Hey, Mr. Pookie, where are you located, if I may ask?
California, brother.
California, northern or southern?
Northern.
Northern. Who's your football team, if you have one?
The Niners. I don't really. Last couple years. I mean, I guess I watched a little bit last
Ah,
year, but the last couple
I
years I
love
haven't been
you.
watching.
I love you already, Mr. Pookie, because I've been a Niner since 1981.
Yes, sir.
The
Best team in the
catch,
league,
the catch, and I'm gonna.
bro. Our
Oh,
QB's about to be. You talk about Trey Lance. What's going on with him?
I'm hitting that Friday on the football Friday.
That's. Yep. You already know.
Um, I
What
gotta
about Kyler
subscribe.
Murray? Did you see that Kyler Murray news?
Oh yeah,
Fuck.
I'm ripping that to shreds tomorrow and Friday because I got two parts to that.
Yeah, that was funny.
Um, I gotta subscribe to Mr. Pookie's channel. I want to be sure I do that and hit everybody else up on their channels. I think what I'm gonna do, leave the dairy and sugars alone. It makes the processed state swell up. Yeah, it does. It does.
Hmm.
And thank you, Rob Marsh, for that. I've left coffee alone. I've
So
left caffeine alone. I'm
yeah.
working on the sugar and the dairy. I've cut back. I've already cut back, just by process of elimination on the dairy because it's not. It's processed. You know, it's processed. But with us having farmland here now, we got a couple of acres. We're gonna start growing our own food here and in North Carolina because I
You
realized
guys might want to
something
think about building
today.
up a greenhouse too.
Say again.
You might want to think about building a greenhouse as well. That way you can
Where
regulate the
that was her
temperature and
first.
shit.
That was Jody's first word to me when we got this property. She said, "I want a greenhouse." And we're going to build a greenhouse, just like I'm going to build one hell of a studio. But everything she grows in that greenhouse, I'm going to eat it. Every edible thing she grows in that greenhouse, I'm sure as hell going to eat it because we have both
Organic as
realized,
hell.
yeah, fuck yeah, man. Because we have both realized we have relied on the grocery store too damn long. Too
Mm.
damn long. And I want to see 80, I want to see 90, and I want to see 100. I want to see a 50-year wedding anniversary party that I want to throw for Jody and I.
All in due time,
And
fam. All in due
I
time.
know it's got to be all in, and I realize now I have to slow it down. I have to slow it down. I got listen. I made it through cancer surgery, and I'm here. I got nothing but
Hmm.
time. I've got to do this right.
Absolutely.
I've got to do this right because I'm
I'll
not
be
going to
honest
have
with you about
to throw
something.
me another knuckle curveball like it did last July.
Mhm. I'll tell you something. To start with, I mean, I've had to deal with a few cancer scares within my own family. My father
Mm-hmm.
in 2003 he had to undergo surgery to remove benign tumors in his throat and his jaw.
Yep.
They
He a
were able to
smoker?
save his. Oh, yeah, he is a smoker.
Mm,
Damn.
yeah.
Nah.
He had a stroke. He had a stroke about 5 years ago,
What's his pack?
just before his
What's his
60th
pack?
birthday. Come again?
What pack was he smoking? It depends.
Come. Marlboro
Camel,
Light, I think.
Newport.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, Marlboro
Normal.
Light. That was the used mostly.
Damn.
Well,
That's that
Yeah,
hard shit.
Pookie, let me tell you something.
I'm glad
Well,
that's a
he old
habit.
school like that.
Yeah, I'm glad that's a habit I never
Whew.
started, and I couldn't start. I just couldn't do it
Nah, bro. Me
because it
either.
was not. It's not fun doing that. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And sick, you missed it today,
I will
man.
be honest with you, brother.
Yeah,
Huh? I overslept and shit. I was supposed to be someplace else early that day, but shit happened and I had to reschedule.
yeah, it's
So my
fine.
day was kind of chaotic. My bad. But I came in at the end.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna scale everything back to 2 hours and just spread the guests around. Um,
Uh,
because I got to conserve my energy. I have to
Yeah. That's what's
because
up. Yeah. Focus on your body.
I'm thinking by
Really do.
next
that's the
June.
best way to do it. You got to think more like you got to think very tactical about this because you got to understand your limitations, how to work with them.
Yep,
You can't push yourself too
and
far. Like
that's why I'm
just like
scaling.
Cole was telling you, man.
Hmm. That's why I'm scaling it back. And the more I thought about it, the more I prayed on it. It's the right decision for me to go back to 120 minutes because
Yeah, that's fine.
when I came back on the air, I was doing like what 3 hours, sometimes four.
You be honest. Once you get past like an hour and 15 minutes, you good right there.
Yeah.
It's more about the content. If you could just take that extra 45 minutes and just split that up into little videos that you could
Hmm.
spread across daily in the mornings and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you'd actually get a lot more growth. To be
Yeah.
honest,
That's
you
what I'm
putting a
gonna
lot
do.
of time into one video.
I'm gonna start
Hmm.
recording a lot of my interviews in advance, taking my wife's advice, and then air them during the show
Mm.
so I can make sure I
Yeah,
get an extra breather. And that could make up the extra hour.
That's better. That's better that way. More
Yeah.
management of your time that way as
and
well.
and then you could post it. You could post the interviews separately too.
Hmm.
That could be content as
Did it,
well. So you
I did
show
that
it.
today when I cut up my segments from the show and I got them up on my YouTube page. Uh
That's what I would do for a lot of these
Oh, by the
clips. So
way,
I'm in like,
Snowman.
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, Pookie. Excuse me, Snowman.
Yes.
You gotta promise me one thing.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, let me get my voice right for this one. This. When it comes to Friday night, don't
Don't spoil this.
Hold on, Pookie. First of all, Pookie, don't soil this program by putting crap on it, okay?
I will never
This is the
soil
guy
my
you should
program.
David.
I will never
I've always
soil
got
my
to be
program.
live. Right, Raymond, I've always got to be live. I can't be on some recorded after right here. That's just spoiling
See,
the program.
Base is Base is live with us every Friday. That I'm not changing.
He better be live.
Friday, the football.
I prayed a baby Jesus 6 pounds 8 ounces
7 ounce,
that
6
you
pounds,
keep
7
him
ounces
live.
of baby
That's all I'm
Jesus.
saying
Yes.
about it.
There are parts I will continue to air live, but there are parts I will tape in advance and post later. And what I'm doing with the podcast version of the show is I'm just posting the segments. And yes, that's the rock you hear in the background, because that's like one of my inspirational themes right now.
Man,
Yeah.
the rock themes have always been classics. I've always loved those themes. I've also loved Billy Gunn's Ass Man. That's also good. Road Dogg.
Oh,
Also
hell
great.
yeah. I played Billy Gunn's.
Certain theme songs were great.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I played the Billy Gunn theme for my wife one day, and I had her cracking up laughing. But
You know what? I've also been listening to more music and realized Prince was a very, very shrewd, very intelligent, but very filthy lyricist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I gotta admit something to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bit of an androgynous streak to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been with me, and there's a reason why. You see, the day I was born, it was September 1st, 1982. That was the same day Culture Club, the British pop group, dropped their first album.
Yep.
So I realized that's where my androgynous antics come from, which is no.
I wore that.
But the good thing about the day
I wore that album out with every stereo system my dad bought me for either Christmas or my birthday.
Hey, Do You Want to Hurt Me was a good song, but understand this: I was born at the opportune time, because in October, Prince dropped 1999. So I know I was thinking of a lady cab driver. And then in November, Michael dropped Thriller. So you know, I was thinking of a PYT, which is why I was always starting something. And that's why my first words were Mama Say, Mama Sa, Mama Kusa, Mama.
Hey, Naima, man, I want to get you on some of my panels, man, because I'm gonna be getting on a consistent streaming schedule, stuff like that. You too, Snowman, because I need somebody I can talk sports with, like for real, not no basic trade rumor stuff. We need to get into we're gonna be getting to some theoretical trades. We're gonna be talking about potential possibilities. We're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. Football.
I love it. Bring it all on.
Cool.
Whenever you get started, Mr. Pookie, you just let me know, and I'll subscribe to your channel.
Here, let me put it in the back chat. I put it in the back chat.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, Brian.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Yes. Finish what you started.
Yes.
Go ahead, Amy.
Okay. Because I wanted to talk something seriously with Brian, but I need you to first finish what you started, and then I'll follow up.
Oh, it was just basically, it's just basically that, because with what I do with my content, it's not just like the basic sports talk. Like I'll talk about like Olympic cases and stuff like that, where these athletes get popped on drugs. I'll talk about sparring matches and sparring, like the sparring vids and the leaks and stuff. I'll talk, because I'm into the back side of it. Like I like all.
You know what, BGS Ibmore, the OG, taught me to look more at the financial side of sports also, and I've been doing a lot of digging into that.
What you were saying, Naima?
You got to. It's a business. Yeah. What I wanted to say was, have you ever seen a Netflix documentary called Icarus? It talks about the Russian doping scandal.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I think that yeah. I need to watch that too because you seen that video. I don't know
Check
if you
that out.
watched it, seen the channel in a minute, but you seen that video I just dropped on that Russian figure skater. Same kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. She talking about
Which
she
one?
needs to take heart medic. Look on the channel. It's her name was like Camila Valera, some shit like that. She's like a 15-year-old. They got these 15-year-olds on supposed heart medications, but when you actually look at the symptoms and the side effects, talking about thinner blood and stuff like that for athletic performance,
Mm-hmm.
better air circulation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, what the fuck? Like, come on
Yeah,
now.
I
Like
remember
she got
East Germany.
great.
They put their
Hmm.
East German. They were also doping their athletes back in the day, if you might remember. In
Yep.
fact, I remember Ron Williams
Yeah,
had a
I
joke
remember.
about that, like
Yeah,
how they
Ain't
I
no
put
back
remember.
in the
years
day.
on speed and
Ain't no
shit.
back. Ain't no back in the day. This shit's still happening.
It's still going on. Matter of fact, in
Ain't
many ways,
stopped.
it's going on
It's still
more
going
now.
on, but we got to remember how far back this has been going on. We got to see
Yeah,
how far
True.
back this is. You got to know the history of this shit.
you got to bring it. Got to bring it all to light. Let me step on out of here. I dropped my Cash App in the back chat. If you all would be so kind as to post my channel and the
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah. What
and
I
the
wanted to say, Brian,
yeah,
you talk
yeah. Go
about
ahead.
like how how people kind of like scrutinize your marriage and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you from my own experience within my own culture, it's more accepting if a daughter brings home a white.
It's more accepting. What you broke up.
You breaking up, nah, Namer. You said it's. I think it's something like more accepting. She brings home like a white dude
Mm-hmm.
than a black. Yeah, I get it,
And it's
and
more
that
true.
just
And it's
sucks.
even more. And it's even more true today than it was back in the '90s when I
So
was away.
I try to, bro. I try to tell people they think, oh, y'all ain't got it. Y'all got it easier, which we do in a lot of respects. But in the dating market,
In the
nah,
dating
this shit.
market, it is never. It is never easy.
Racial.
It's like I said. I found out when I went away to college in 1990 how skewed and how backwards it was. And believe me, it's even more backwards now, some 30 odd years later, than it was in 1990 and 91 when I was first discovering who the hell I was.
Yeah, because now before there was some kind of training and discipline, and women had more like a better sense of direction and stuff like that due to their socialization. Now there is no socialization, so it's just now it's like before it was like women back in the day were planning to get to the rich dude. Now they're just throwing
Right.
themselves at the rich dude.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I'm saying.
they're throwing themselves, let me use a baseball reference, like a Nolan Ryan fastball.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like a
But
Nolan Ryan fastball.
they ain't catching no bat though.
Mm-mm.
They're not
They're
catching
not,
no bat. So I'm
they're
afraid.
not.
I'm honestly, I'm afraid for these women. Like in 10 years, they only got like 10 years. It's only 10 years, 20 to 30. It's
You
literally
know
only
what's
10 years.
funny?
Yeah.
You know what's funny though?
Hmm.
When I went away to college in 1990, I will never forget the last warning that my mother gave me. Since we're talking about dating and interracial dating, I'll give you a guess as to what that was.
What?
She basically said, "Don't date any white woman." My dad just looked at me and said, "Be yourself and be happy."
Pretty much. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I've heard that so many times, bro. I literally.
You,
What do
my,
you? What kind of women do you date? Like I don't understand. Like, why the fuck? How the fuck do you feel comfortable in a conversation asking me that? Even though in typical, if you think about it just logically, just based off the rules of dating, it's kind of taboo to ask somebody what the fuck is going on or like what kind of women
Your
they
mama
sleep with.
black.
Your mama black. So,
somebody
so
said,
what? My black ass mama told me to be
Was
happy.
that Jesse? Was that Jesse who said that? Was
That
that
was
Jesse?
Snowman who
Yeah,
said that
Jesse
story.
was the one who said it.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
Jesse, if I
Oh,
could
thanks for letting me
only,
listen. Oh,
if you
sorry.
can only put into a correct count how many times I've heard that phrase.
right.
Good grief.
Sickening.
You know what I
It's
say when
like,
somebody says that to me? I just look at that person and say, especially if it's a dark skinned woman and she's assuming I'm of her nationality. She said, "Isn't your mother black?" I said, "Yeah, but my mom's also light skinned."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I mean,
Do you
Jody and
know
I
you
have
know what my
conversation.
mother looked like?
Philip,
No, my mom's not even light skinned. She
man.
just know what these
Assalamu
chicks be
alaikum
on.
salam.
My mom's not even light skinned. She dark skinned. She just know what these chicks be on. She told me to be happy because
Wait,
what her friends were telling her
Pookie,
was some bullshit. Yeah.
Oh man, that.
Pookie, let me ask you
Thank you.
something.
Y'all know where I stand on this issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I'm team best deal.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever woman is bringing the best deal to you as a black man, that's the one that you choose.
Mm,
Period. Straight logic, cold
exactly.
rationale, no emotion, no pro black emotion.
It's cost
All right,
benefit
you ain't saying that
analysis.
stuff,
That's
man.
all it is.
Pretty much.
I mean,
Pretty much.
mm,
But it's like
mm-hmm.
women. It's almost like a traumatic thing for me because I've been through like a certain kind of vulnerable trauma when I was younger and shit. I'm related to black women, um but it's like whenever I'm in a situation where it's like a woman that's trying to get me to be emotional about her circumstance just because we share skin tone. It's almost like it's like you trying to you stealing my experience. Like that shit is like traumatic. Like you're altering my experience, my nigga.
Bingo.
And it go
Bingo.
be honest, I think a lot of black women they have trouble with certain black men. I'm not gonna say all of us, 'cause all of us haven't been in issues and stuff like that. I think we all been around it, but we all of us haven't experienced traumatic stuff like that. But I think they have issues with traumatic men, calling them lame and
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Pookie? There's something
For
you're forgetting
many,
about. It's
for
called
many. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, go ahead, Snowman. Oh,
For
okay.
many
Um,
years,
uh uh
since I've been a sports announcer, and
yeah.
mhm.
I did my first play-by-play call in 1995, and my wife and I have talked about this umpteen thousand times. Do you know how many times my mother, God rest her soul, asked me if I have any favorite black announcers? Because one of my favorite announcers of all time, just passed in Vince Scully. The announcer who got me started was Jim Durham, back home in Chicago.
Black announcers. I get what you're trying to or say. Like,
You
oh,
see
well,
where
why
my
do you?
mother was. You see where my mother was going.
Yeah. Well, why aren't you
Hmm.
so hyper focused on the trauma and the trash to the community? Well, they see because I think from their perspective, they get the upside of it. So it's whenever you try to go out and be on your own vocation, it's like as if you're taking something from them, but
Mm-hmm.
ultimately it wasn't theirs to begin with. That's
And
what
that's the,
I'm trying to get
and
more
that's the
understanding.
point. That's the point. That's
Like
absolutely
I'm
the
not, you're not old the relationship. Like I'm not owed a job from my boss. Like when he gave me a raise to $17 an hour from where I was at, bro. Like I owed that. The fuck? Like I worked for that, and I asked that man nicely, and the nigga obliged, and that's
Mhm.
just what it was. I mean, he could have said no, and I
And
would have had the
obliged.
exact same reaction regardless. I'm not gonna take myself to a different environment. We could play with the workplace and say that's like we could say the workplace and going out to work is like that black chick going to Ghana. You tell me this: would you ever see that black chick go up into her job? One thing don't go right in her favor, and she talking about this privilege and what her boss need to do and what these white dudes need to do. What you think is gonna happen in the first 5
No.
minutes? She gonna get fired.
All hell
But
breaking loose, and
you feel like you can go to
she,
somebody.
she will
You
be escorted out of the
people feel like they can honestly. Yes, but you feel like you can honestly authoritate and control someone else's experience and get to the point where you can go in somebody else's country and tell them what the fuck to do. Even if the legislation is
Brittany,
disputing that. Like these like
Griner
black
and all that.
women they right. They feel like they can just walk in blind to any environment and people are supposed to have great
Oh shit. I'm sorry. But The minute you said Brittany Griner, I just remember of something I said. I mentioned
With
about
the
her
vape,
earlier
with
this
the
evening.
vaping, what
No
the
man.
vaping pen.
Yo, did y'all
No,
see
not
that?
vaping pen.
Did y'all see
Wait,
that?
hold up. Hold up. The thing I said about Griner was this. Sorry, Pac. Yeah, no, I'm talking about you, Pan African Pac. I'm talking about you, Jesse. I'm just calling you Pac for short. What I said about Brittany Griner is this. Do you realize she risked getting in prison in Russia for some drug shit
Mm-hmm.
just to avoid having to go to jail on some child support in Arizona? Because a lot of people forget that she's on a second marriage. And from her first marriage, she has twin children
Mhm.
who she pays
Mhm.
child support for. And those kids are about 6 years old now.
And she didn't want to pay for them. Oops.
Is that true?
Yeah, I don't know about that
That's
one.
that's the assumption I'm making. I could be totally wrong. I could
Yeah,
totally
but
be wrong.
also she
I
and
have no
BTS also
knowledge of
about
that.
this. Go ahead.
Who mentioned this? You said somebody brought
What are you
this
talking?
up, or did you see a news article or something?
I didn't. It's just an assumption at this point in
Oh, okay,
time.
okay. So
It's
you brought this up on your show, or
oh yeah, we've
We
talked
met
about
on her show.
yeah. We talk about it a lot. Let me get on out of here. I want to thank you
All right.
guys and thank you, Charles, for allowing me up for a few minutes. I am going to finish my podcast and then I'm going to crash because I want to be in bed
peace.
before
Get some
10
sleep,
o'clock
brother.
so I can
I'll
get
be
some
on the
sleep.
show this time on town, brother. Don't
All
worry.
right. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Jesse, if you get a chance tomorrow, come on by, man. Come on by. If any of y'all get a
I'll,
chance, come on by and get in on the fun.
yeah, I'll check it out definitely. 9 a.m. Eastern.
Ooh.
8 a.m.
8
Eastern.
All right,
a.m. Eastern.
folks. About to shut things
Yeah.
down. Thank you for the support, the good
Okay.
conversation. Till next time, fellas. Gonna head over to Dr. T.
All right.
Review of
Good
Prey.
night,
Oh, it's
gentlemen.
gonna be fun.
I'm gonna do a
All right,
review of
man.
Prey this week, so check it out.
All right.
Woo! Thank you. Look, and we out.
Ooh, yeah.